Hi, and welcome to The Language of Money, the official video to get you started on this beautiful plan. So, I also created a podcast and a whole YouTube channel behind manifesting wealth because I feel like one of the reasons why a lot of us are not in a good place in our lives is because we feel that we're not living the lives that we intend and desire. Because we don't have enough money. We get tied down to certain jobs because we feel like if we leave this job, we're not going to find anything that's going to give us the security that we have from this job. And I deal with a lot of clients that go through either or. The stability, I need to have this job because I get this much and I have this much expenses, and if I don't stay in this job, if I try to do something else, I'm not going to make the same amount of money. So mentally, we create this kind of language, this frequency that we send out that keeps us in this level. So in the first workbook, I say below you want to add the amount of money you desire to hold within your now radiant moment. I want you to think of what amount makes you feel good and that you truly desire. Below, write it out in bold. And I exampled $1 million. Then it says this is the amount you truly desire and that you will achieve, because in this class you will learn to tap into the vibration of this amount and cosmically synchronize with this amount entering your life. Now, you're going to learn a lot in this class about the magic of synchronicity. I love this magic. But besides you writing this amount, and even if you wrote it before you saw this video, I want to share with you something that I have tapped into a little in the freebies that I've been giving, but I really want you all to address this. All of us, we have kind of like this journey. Some of you call it fate, some of you call it your life plan. If you get a numerology report, you'll notice a little more details about what it is in your life, your purpose, and all that stuff. A lot of the time people, even me for many years, I'm like, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? What is my purpose? But what if we overthink that? What if we overthink our purpose? What if life is supposed to be more simple? What if life is supposed to be here so we can learn how to achieve our heaven on earth, our happiness, our tranquil space, So we're always chasing this idea, and then we're constantly being fed all of these pictures and images and stories that make us think that we want this or that or the other. So in this class, I want you to seek your truth. I want you to acknowledge what wealth definition is for you. For example, when I first started on this quest, I've always been really worried. My kids are adults, and I use a lot of my wealth, a lot of the money that comes in, to support my family, to take care of them. Something that I love to do. I'm not hating upon it because I loved to be able to take care of my kids. If my granddaughters like want XYZ, I don't want them to think that they can't have it. I want them to be able to say, Ama, I want this, I need this, and be like, here you go. I loved to be able to do that. Maybe it's because that was the way my great grandmother was with me. Whenever mom couldn't get something, she was able to go to great grandmother, and great grandmother would take care of certain things. Maybe it's because of that. So we all have our own definition. We all have our own life experiences. But then I started to notice something even more. I have family members that are obsessed with the lottery. I live in Florida. Florida lottery is a big thing. Before that, we used to play illegal lottery. Well, not we, because I was a child when that was. I think this was, created in the early 1900s. The illegal lottery was like a gaming thing. You will pick numbers and you would give it to like type of bookie, and these numbers were randomly picked like at midnight. And the people that won, back then it was doing the illegal lottery, and this is gonna sound horrid, and I don't want you to judge me about this because these are things that's just the way it was back then, right? So I remember my mom one time won the fake lottery. She won a few $1,000s, and this was in the 80s. So when the Florida lottery came out, a lot of people were obsessed with it because they thought it was the same way. And it was like this, I want to be a millionaire. The lottery is going to save my life. If I win millions of dollars, I could do XYZ. So a lot of the times, and I still have like distant cousins, but they're still family members, that they work really hard. They get paid thousands of dollars a week, and they spend thousands of dollars a month on scratch offs and playing illegal bingo and doing things because they have this kind of like, if I win this, I'm going to be okay, you know? And I started to notice in my many, many years of studying, research, working with you guys, that we all think that we want something because we feel like it's going to fill a void that's in our life right now. And many, many times it's a number that we feel like if we get this number, it's going to fill this void. And I've repeated this before. When I heard Paris Hilton say in one of her documentaries, this was, I lost all. I mean, I never cared for her too much, but it was a very popular documentary on Netflix, like I'm gonna say a couple years ago, maybe right before COVID or during COVID, that she said that she was going to be happy once she made $1 billion. Like her goal was, I'm gonna make $1 billion, and once I make that $1 billion, I'm going to be happy. And quoting Gary Vee, if you're not happy now with what you have, you are never going to be happy. No amount of money is ever going to fulfill that void that you have and are facing right now. So my goal is to teach you to see that your truth, to teach you to open from this kind of mental hypnosis that you have created. Sorry. I was outside and the mosquitoes were biting. I don't know what it is about them biting the ankles. So it's like we have this picture because we see the Tai Lopez's and, you know, all of these YouTubers, all of these social media, all of these celebrities, and, you know, you want those lifestyles, you know, and you think that that's going to make you happy, you know. And it wasn't until I started actually working with rich people and celebrities and noticed that a lot of them are not happy. You know, one of my most crazy experiences is working with this beautiful, beautiful multimillionaire. And her life was miserable because she was never able to be with her beloved, because it was very taboo. Because since she had so much wealth, she had to marry into wealth. In this day and age, believe it or not. Then I had another one who was a princess. And she literally had to like leave her country in order to be with the man of her dreams because they would have killed her. Like, the client experiences that I've had in my many, many years of doing this have been surreal. And I could tell you like tips and pieces, but I have to keep everything very confidential because first of my gift, this is why I do what I do. So I could give you like little hints, and there's some I can't even talk about because you'll know who I'm talking about. So in this class, you're going to find your number and you're going to look in between the lines. And let's say today your number is 100 million because you think that that's what you're going to need in order to do this and that and the other, because that's how you came into this space. But then as you go through what I'm teaching you, you're going to notice that you might have a different number, or that you might actually have a different lifestyle that you were thinking because you saw her lifestyle or his lifestyle, and that's the lifestyle you wanted. But the truth is that your dreams and hopes are actually this. You don't know how many times I talk to clients that are living through their mother's dreams, or their parents, their siblings, or their children's are doing stuff because, you know. So you want to find your dream, what it is that you want. And I love to share my experience just to kind of like give you a glimpse of what I'm talking about, because there's one thing of me telling you, there's another thing of me showing you. So for a long time, since I've always been the type of person, as a nurturer, as a caregiver, as someone who's always taking care of XYZ, you know, helping my mom, sending, you know, family and that I have all over the world, and thinking about this person needs that and person. Then I have my kids, and this one's not doing good, and I have to help this one, or granddaughters that I need my granddaughters. So it wasn't until I started taking care of me and focusing on me and what is it that I want, and literally going back to my journal and rereading my dreams since I was in my late teenage years to my 20s, because believe it or not, I have journals for way back when. I'm almost 50 now. So it wasn't until I realized this is what I wanted. And what happened to me was I decided this way back in 2012. It was even before that. It was, I think it might have been 2010 and 2011 that I really started doing my spiritual business. Before, it was kind of like friends, something I did with friends when we used to hang out, bring out to Tarot. Everybody would look to Daisy. I was very popular. I had a lot of friends. They wanted to hang out with me because I'm, go to Daisy. She knows everything. She's going to tell you. So it wasn't until I realized what was important to me and what kind of lifestyle that I wanted to live, that I realized what my number was. Because before, it was like, well, I need X amount of money, because if I get this amount of money, then I'm able to do this for my mom, and I'm able to do this for my dad, I'm able to do this for my children, and I'm able to do this for them. So I'm always thinking about everybody else, but I wasn't really thinking about what it is that I wanted. Where did I want to live? How much, what kind of business I wanted, what kind of work I wanted to do. So no matter where you are, no matter if you have a 9 to 5, if you have your own business and you want to take it to the next, because me, I start one place and I go to the next, you are going to start right here. You're not going to overwhelm yourself. There's times that I take part-times all the time. If I find that, and I'll share this with you in the language of money class. If I find that my money from my business has, because, things change. That's why you have to be very aware, and this is why synchronicity is really important. Usually my angels will tell me, hey Daisy, try doing this. Hey Daisy, try investing in this. So I'm very open and aware to what Spirit shares with me, because sometimes, yes, Etsy was making me, almost $100,000 in 2021 and 2022, and then it got in 2023, it went less than half. So if it wasn't that my spiritual guides had said Patreon, classes, courses, books, I would have been in a hole. I would have been really, So that's what the language of money does. It makes sure that that number that you have, that you intend and desire, you always achieve it. You always receive it. And if you feel like it's bigger or smaller, Spirit will help you through that, to guide you. And that, and I want to share this with you. It doesn't mean that you can have that 200 million or the $1 billion. Billy Carson just set a goal to make $1 billion. Like, that was his next big thing. And he's well on the way to that, because he's escalating there. This is what he's doing. This is his frequency. This is his language. So you have to start where you are, because what is the language of money? It's a way for you to communicate and be in that frequency, be in that channel where you are tuning in, sharing what you desire, but that you are also receiving it. Because if I want 10 million, I want 10 million, I want 10 million, I want 10 million, but then I'm not hearing, okay, Daisy, to have the 10 million, you have to do this. To have the 10 million, you have to do that. If I'm not in that frequency, then I cannot receive the $10 million. So that's what you're going to learn in this class. And I know that there's some crazy rituals here. Again, my main thing, and I always share this with you, and I wanted to make this very, very kind of point blank, is I use the simple wording, the vocabulary, the connections with nature and earth. That's my mojo. I do have followers that love the more occult stuff, and that's great for them. I'm just all angels. I love connecting with spiritual guides. I love connecting with my angels. They share with me exactly what I need to do and how I need to do things in order for me to live my very best possible life. And it was, I think it might have been 2015 when I finally decided I no longer want to live here. And that was because I was in Miami. I no longer want to live in this house because I was living with my parents because they needed me and I was helping them. And they were helping me too because in 2011 I kind of like sold my business and then just crazy stuff happened and I kind of lost everything, car, everything. So sometimes life gives us patterns, for us to acknowledge and understand. So we learn from these hardcore stuff so they don't repeat. Because again, it's all a language, it's all a frequency, it's a communication. So when these things happen, instead of you, oh my God, this is happening again, how am I going to do this? It's more like, okay, I've been through this, I understand this, now I know what to do, right? So finding your truth. I want you, there's going to be some questions in the modules that are going to be really, really about you, So you want to be as honest as possible because it's about breaking down those blocks, breaking down those barriers. It's about open that creative, divine energy that you have inside. And we're going to be doing audio rituals to kind of like bring out that beautiful energy that you all have. You all have this beautiful light and energy within you. You want to find your truth. And example, and I did a podcast on this, my truth was that I love to live in kind of like a fantasy world because I don't listen to the news. I love playing video games. I love reading novels. I love writing my beautiful books. I love going to comic book places. I love reading comic books. I love playing Pokemon. I love going to the theme park. So why not have my lifestyle? Why not have my home somewhere where it's close to all the things that I love? Why? And I remember when I first did it, I remember when it was the move, I didn't have any money because I was still kind of like, taking care of my parents and doing all this, and it was like I had to stay very quiet because I couldn't tell them because they would just, rain on my parade. So it was traveling back and forth, interviews, from hotel to hotel until finally, almost 6 months after all of this work, I got my place. But the point is that I was on that frequency and everything would unravel right on time. I would get sometimes free resort stays. The way that I got my apartment was insane because my credit was so bad. And I was like, this is never going to happen. Because before when I was trying to do it, it was like, no, 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 no. I would spend money on application stuff and it was no. So it was when I was open to that truth, because that was in Miami where I was getting all the no's. So once I got the truth of where I wanted to live, of living the lifestyle, of enjoying Starbucks coffee at Hollywood Studios as many times I could go every single day and have my Starbucks at Hollywood Studios. I know the animals in Animal Kingdom by names. I'm able to go in and be like, hello, Marilyn Moon Pie, because I know that those are their names. I'll be able to donate to the conservations, be able to drink coffee here in Florida that they grow here. I'm not a big on wine, but I do have sometimes friends and clients that love wines. I'm able to go with them to the different like wine places that grow wines here in Florida and just, go with them and just enjoy nature, because that's what I really, really love. So it's like living the lifestyle that I love and being able to attain it at this and saying, okay, now I'm here, where's my next? And then going into my next. So I'm able, and it's just so beautiful when you get to that place. Like, and for me, I love having my $20,000-$30,000 cushion. So I have that security of knowing I could pay my bills. If I could need to do some light shopping, I could go light shopping. If I want to take a month off and not do absolutely nothing because I'm going hermit, and God knows that you guys know that I do that all the time. I love that I don't work all the time. I love that. That I'll have a month that I'll be working my booty off and creating my classes and courses and just doing it. And then I could have a week that I don't do absolutely nothing, that I turn off all my phones and all my gadgets, and I don't have any like responsibilities. I was able to do that, which that took me years because I was very client. They need me. I'm here. It's all about, once you tap into this, everything slowly is almost like a beautiful wheel, like a train that knows its destination, that's right on track, that the light switch and the tracks shift to take them to the direction that they need to take them. It is that type of going forward motion. It's beautiful. So today, when you sit down and write your number, think about your now. Think about right now where you are, and think about where you want to be. And I'm not saying, okay, I don't want you to cut yourself off. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because when I used to think the $10 million and the house in the apartment in Miami Beach, which was $3 million for like a bedroom, and I used to think about that lifestyle, it felt very far. And even though I did all the walking and all the visualization and hanging out there and trying to do the lifestyle, and I even got me a little studio on the beach, trying to just really, really get into that, it wasn't my happy place. I started to notice that it was more my husband's dream than it was mine. So it wasn't until I really sat down and I was like, I don't even care about that. I don't want to be with these snobby South Beach people. Excuse me if you're from South Beach. I'm sorry, I apologize, but not for me. I wanted to be in a place where I was have fun, a place where I could dress up as characters. I could, dress up as vintage Daisy, wear my hats, wear my flowers, be who I am, flamboyant and giddy and fantastical. So what is your dream life for you? Not for your children, not for your parents, not for your coworkers, not for the social media people, YouTubers, celebrity, reality TV crap perula. What is your number? And make it real to you. Make it like and I always say, if you're like, per se, you're at $50,000, make it 100,000, make it 200,000, make it something that feels like, oh my gosh, I could have this. This is so real. And here's another thing that happened to me. Before, my courses were $50 to $100, and I still have courses. My scripting class was $111, and I still have like some scripting courses for $44. But when you start to grow and you start to put so much time and so much effort, and you find like the outcomes are surreal and amazing, and you just start to connect, and you're like, okay, I was at this level, now I can take it to this level. I wanted to make $5,000 a month, but now I want to make this amount of money a month. And you're allowed to do that, and it's about being unapologetic. It's, about not saying, I'm sorry because I want to charge you more. I'm sorry that you can afford it. No, it's not about that. Think about your job. Think about your job. You know how many times I talk to people like, but if I quit, they're not gonna be able to handle it. My boss is always telling me that she doesn't know what she's gonna do without me. Da da da. Well, then have her pay you. Like, example, my godmother has been a travel agent for all her life. All her life, she supported herself. It's a very lavish lifestyle and a very lavish job, but it is hard work because she has clients that they're other parts of the world. So her 3 a.m. is their 7 a.m., right? 6 a.m. And they will call her around that time, and she has to be up and available for them. Of course, it's not all the time, but when they are on I need you on an on-call basis, but she gets paid stupid money. She makes a good $10,000 a month. She lives in Miami in a very lavish lifestyle because she's able to do that. And it's not just the money that she makes, it's also all the traveling. And she's already in her 60s, almost 70, still working because she loves it. And not only does she pay all her bills, she also gets pensions because she's been working so long, and all her medical. And it's not even government, it's not Medicare or Medicaid, it's through her job. Like, she has medical insurance, dental insurance, like all of that stuff. So her boss tells her, I can't do this without you, and she just had open heart surgery not so long ago, and they gave her months off, paid months off, because she went through this, because they love her. So it's like, if you have that type of job and they tell you that they can't be without you, show me. You can't live without me. You're making this much money. Of course, she's not being a bitch about it, but she's like, it just came because she's just a very abundant person, because she is tapped into the language of money. She has credit cards that are worth thousands of dollars. I think one of her things that she does all the time is that she like changes her house all the time. It's just something that she likes to do. And then she'll take all the old furnishings and she donates them to other people. She's donated to family. She's donated to newlyweds that just started. Like, she's very, very loving and giving person. So it's your truth of your lifestyle, of what you intend and you desire and what you want. Not what she wants or what he wants or what they want. It's what you want. So when you sit down and you write this number, make it a number that represents you, that could take you from wherever it is right now that you want into where you want to be. What is that number? And like I said, my first number was that I just wanted to have $10,000 stored. And from there I went to 20, and then I played with 20 to 30, just to have that there. And that's not counting that I love to investments. I love to buy gold and silver, and I love that. My crystals, I love to invest in crystals that cost money, and they're always going to cost that money. Like my kids, God forbid tomorrow something happens and my kids could take all this stuff and just sell it collectibles. That's mine. Because money is not just paper. Money is virtual. Money is lands. Money is gold. Money is coins. Money is you. So whenever somebody tells you that there's not enough, that we're in a recession, that's a lie. We have almost 10 billion people now. We've had more people in the world than we've ever had. People are money because it's through goods and services. So from the farmers to the coaches to the doctors to the lawyers to the people that work in the supermarket, everything is represented through trading, through money. So money is infinite. It has no end, my friends. Don't let anyone, that's one thing I'm going to share with you here, is that there is so much money out there, so much abundance, that you could have whatever number you want. I just want you to start at a place that you believe in, a place that is your truth. Okay? And if that place is at 1 million, just like I wrote it, if that place is 1 million, then write it. If that place is 10 million, then write it. Like I said, if you're Billy Carson and your place is 1 billion, then write it. But it represents you. Okay? Not, once I make $1 million, I'm going to be happy. No, because you need to be happy today. We need to work on your happiness right now. And that's what we're going to do in this class. We're going to find your creative. You're going to work and do the things that you love to do because you love to do them. I'll work sometimes 12 hours in one day and I won't even feel it because I love my work. I will have 60-hour weeks and not even feel it because I love what I do. Here I am, 30 minutes in a camera, creating the printables, taking notes, because I love to do this. It's like, makes me so happy. So to me, it's not work. To me, this is fun. And that's what you want, because that is the language that I'm emanating, that I'm sending out. So when I receive happiness. I receive high-end clients that absolutely love me and that support me in every which way. Every time I have a new class, they want to take them because they love what I teach. And I'm so grateful of them. And they love that they get to engage with me because we do lives and Zooms and, I email back. So there is such a beautiful rapport that I have with, maybe, I say this all the time, maybe it's because I haven't gotten to a certain level that is so massively big. And maybe that's why I can still do this stuff. But even then, I still see me going to doing like book signings where I engage with my participants and my readers and my supporters, So it's a unity. It's a give and receive. It's the language of money. But here, you're going to learn actual words, phrases. Just like right up here. That is a divine energy of prosperity that I use all the time. And I teach this over and over in so many of my money classes. You don't know, in the candles that I've sold that the people use that, they're like, well, I'm going to teach you how to tap into those frequencies and how to use that in such a way that you are on that frequency. And money is always coming in, always coming on. Because not just for you. I use that and I tap into that frequency energy, and I do this for my children, for my husband, for my clients, random strangers that I meet. I'm always talking about that in my classes, how I love to randomly manifest for strangers, and they'll never know it's me because I saw them on the side of the road, or I saw them here, or I saw them there, and I send them blessings, or I saw them on social media struggling with only $300 following, trying to do this, and I find a way to amplify and share and send them blessings. Because I always say, if we are all in a good place, if we're all beyond our numbers, think about how much you could give and how much you could do in our world. We become the change that we want to see in the world. And this is why I don't watch the news. I don't give my energy to the news because that's all bullshit. I'm not going to save the people dying in the wars. I need to send healing. I need to send love. I need to send peace. I need to send tranquility. I need to share with you how to be amazing, because if you're one of the ones that are working with individuals that are going through hardship and you're emanating positivity, you're going to share and emanate that language, and you're going to touch them with your energy. And it causes almost like a ripple effect, because it clicks with them. Because if you tell them this is XYZ, then their ego and pride tells them, no, that's not right. But if you're emanating, if they're seeing you successful, radiant, loving, giddy, doing you, being that lifestyle, because that's how social media is. These individuals, and I love a lot of them, but a lot of them are just faking it till they make it, and you fall in love with the aesthetic. You fall in love with the backgrounds, and because you think it's all real. I mean, not so long ago there was, I never saw her again. Super popular, became like a millionaire through her books, and I have the best relationship. And when I saw her, because it was somebody that shared me, oh, you should see her, she has the perfect relationship, and when I saw her, I said, that's not real. She's not as happy as she seems to be. Lord and behold, not even a year later, she comes out with this new book. Her and her husband had just gotten a divorce. They didn't tell anybody because her brand was all, love, and I'm this and that. I don't tell you guys that. If you guys watch my stuff, yeah, I'm known as Love Goddess because I do help you in your love life, but I will share with you when I'm going through shit with my husband. I tell you the truth. There's no such thing as a perfect relationship. It doesn't exist. There has to be compromise. There has to be communication. And even then, if there's not enough, it becomes unrequited and you have to move on. So I don't portray that perfect relationship bullshit, because there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. No such thing. It takes a lot of work. And I'm not saying there's not a love. I've known people that've been married for 50 years and absolutely love. As a matter of fact, my parents have been together for almost 50 years, if not 50 years. And I call them the honeymooners because they're always fighting. They adore each other. Like when my dad has to go to work, because he'll get side gigs and stuff like that because he paints houses and stuff. And even at retired, he's able to do this. And he leaves my mom alone, she loses her shit. He has to take her on his jobs because they're just together all the time. And I just think it's funny, when she calls me, she's like, you know what your father did to me? And she'll tell me, I'm gonna move in with you, I'm gonna leave. And I just start laughing. I just let her vent because I know that lasts 5 minutes. And the next day she's like, oh, he did. He took me to Crackle Barrel. He bought me this. So I believe in love. It's not that I don't. Not everything you see on social media is real. So I want you to be honest with yourself as we are about to embark on this journey, and you creating the lifestyle that you want by bringing into you, because you're going to attract, you become this radiant magnet with your vocal and your movement. Because I'm going to share with you some crazy stuff, and you are going to tap into that. You're going to be using, I have these things called switch words that I just found them not so long ago. And these are just simple words that you're going to be using as mantras or affirmations. However, they tap into your subconscious, almost like it switches your subconscious on, so you could attract money. And it's super crazy. Like whenever like Etsy right now is not doing very good. They have a lot of competition with TikTok and Shopify. My Etsy is always doing good. It's always doing good. And when it starts to get like back in sales, like maybe this week I didn't have any sales, I sent them that energy and vibration, and it just starts sales coming. You know, it's like crazy when you use certain things, certain vocabulary, because that's what we are. We're stating what we want, and then we're being receptive to listening so this energy could come in. And you have to be aware, because if you're asking for $10 million, there has to be a way for it to come in, right? And that's what we're getting at. And a lot of you, sometimes I work with some of you and you might be blocked because you're trying to invent, and maybe you want to start a business, or through the language of money, your ideas are going to click on. And sometimes they might not even come through you. Sometimes a friend will tell you something. Sometimes you'll read a story on Yahoo News, or or in an article in the newspaper or in a magazine, and be like, wow, that's awesome, I could do that. You just never know. I didn't know way back 3 decades ago when I started my business that I was going to be doing this and making a living from it. I thought I was going to be a teacher for the rest of my life, or I did serving for a long time because I was making stupid money. That's a lot. That's a hard work, So be open, be aware, and get ready, because the language of money is going to change your life forever.